Breaking news, at least one person has died after a crash in Nash County. We're live with an update.
Stuck at the state fair. New video shows the opening day malfunction of a ride, leaving fairgoers 100 feet in the air. How riders are describing the tense moments.
It's a temperature turnaround for the weekend. I'm tracking the next front that'll bring warmer temperatures and the chance for showers.
A new spotlight on Bill Belichick's inner circle after a fundraising trip to Saudi Arabia comes to light. Why the team's GM was in the Middle East just weeks before the season. We got to get started with some breaking news, though, here at 7 o'clock. Good to be with you. I'm Dan Haggerty. Sky 5 flying over the scene of what is obviously a very bad crash in Nash County. This is on Watson Seed Farm Road, and based on what we've been able to see here, it does appear that this is a fatal crash. Carly Haynes is following this story. She's in the WRAL Live Center. What have you heard from investigators there, Carly, at this point?
Well, they're still working out the details of this crash here, but as you said, we know at least one person has died. This is a video from Sky 5. It shows two very heavily damaged cars on Watson Seed Farm Road. This is near NC 24 and 95. In Nash County. Airbags deployed, a lot of damage to both of these cars, and they've gone off either side of the road. So once again, still under investigation. Details of how this happened are still coming out.
Yeah, terrible. All right, thank you. We'll check back with Carly. So tonight, we are hearing from the wife of a Durham man who was detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Mohammed Shama was the manager at the AMC movie theater there in Durham. This is his family. There he is there. So his family is telling WRAL that he was legally pursuing citizenship at this time before he was then detained at an immigration meeting on October 9th. We have WRAL's Willie Danley. He visited Shama's home tonight. He joins us live. Willie, walk us through what happened in this situation and what Homeland Security is saying about it all.
Well, Dan, Mohammed Shama's family called this last week a never-ending nightmare. His wife tells me that they got an invitation for an immigration meeting that they had waited a long time for. When they arrived at this building, walked inside and were separated, that's when her husband was detained.
And when I got in, I don't see Shama. And I just see our lawyer with her mouth open. I'm like, what? And she goes, they took him. I'm like, what do you mean they took him? Who took him? And she said, ICE.
Maggie Shama last saw her husband of 8 years, Mohammed Shama, when he arrived at the immigration office in Durham on October 9th. There, Shama was detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. He was born in Egypt and moved to America with his first wife. Yeah. Maggie Shama says because his first marriage ended in divorce while he was in the U.S. under a visa, that complicated his legal status. The couple was aware that he had an order for deportation while his wife was in the process of becoming his citizenship sponsor. I reached out to the Department of Homeland Security and was told, quote, he's a visa overstay with the final order of removal, no criminal record. As of now, Shama is being held at Stewart Detention Center in Lumpkin, Georgia, facing deportation. Maggie Shama now worries she may not see her husband before he's sent back to Egypt.
I would hope they would let me see him, but I don't know.
WRAL has reached out to local and state lawmakers, as well as the attorneys representing Mohammed Shama for a comment. We are waiting on a response. In the meantime, his family friends have started a GoFundMe to help with some of those legal expenses. As of now, they've raised around $37,000 of a $47,000 goal. Willie Danley, WRAL News, Durham.
Yeah, Willie, before you go, curious about his children. What do we know about his kids and what could happen to them through all of this?
Well, Dan, his kids are U.S. citizens. He has two daughters, aged 13 and 10 years old. Right now, they are with their biological mother, and due to their age being so young, the family is slowly starting to share information about what has happened to their dad.
Yeah, man, very, very difficult for them. All right, Willie, thank you. Thank you for the report. All right. Meantime, we want to get you caught up with some of the other headlines tonight. These are the 5 things you should know right now. Another bad crash to tell you about. This one is in Durham. We have Sky 5 video here over this scene. 15501 right near Cornwallis Road. It looks like 2 cars were involved. The crash leading to some backups in that area. No word yet on any injuries or what might have caused this accident to happen. The city of Rocky Mount, they just let go of about 100 of their employees. The city said they had to lay off 10% of the full-time workforce there. A spokesperson telling WRAL this is a direct response to the city's ongoing financial crisis. Former and current employees telling us that this feels like a, quote, slap in the face. Public comment is now open for the proposed redistricting plan for North Carolina's congressional maps. Republicans want to tweak District 1 and District 3. You saw the difference, how it would change there in those 2 maps. They want to expand their party's majority, essentially, in the U.S. House. Democrats plan to protest this plan next week. A vote could come as early as next Tuesday. Another round of nationwide protests are set for tomorrow, a few in our area as well. Back in June, you may remember more than 5 million people across the country were part of the No Kings demonstrations. Tomorrow, another 1,300 protests are planned across the country, with 15 set to happen here in our area. AT&T is raising their home internet prices again. The company confirmed to The Verge that prices are going to be going up $5 a month on all plans. This will start in December. To help offset the changes, customers who haven't already enrolled in the auto pay and paperless billing can get a $10 a month monthly discount. Sky 5 over the North Carolina State Fair right now. A little bit of traffic out there. Man, it looks cool when the lights are all on and the sun starts to set. But for the most part, things are pretty good, going well in and outside of the fairgrounds. It is what happened inside, though, the fair today that was a bit of a problem. WRAL's Heidi Kirk is joining us live. So, Heidi, you heard from some folks who were on one of the rides when a little malfunction happened, and they just so happened to be about 100 feet up in the air when it did.
Dan, absolutely. So this ride that we're standing in front of is called the Vertigo. You can see tonight it's back up and running. We've got lots of people filling those seats tonight. But yesterday, that ride went all the way up to the top, started spinning around, and then came to an abrupt halt. And as we mentioned,
first day of the fair, and a ride is already stuck in the air. Yeah, already 24.
All right, we lost Heidi there for a moment. What you're looking at is a video of that ride getting stuck, and the person riding that ride stuck about 100 feet up in the air. We saw this posted on social media and reached out to them. And we talked to the state ag officials. They say the ride stopped after what they call a low voltage fault. We had an opportunity to interview the woman who posted that video, and she talked to us a bit about what this was like.
My first thought is Final Destination. I immediately, just darkness. I'm so scared, but I can't. So I just start praying. Me and Liam, that's my son, we just start saying a prayer.
Final Destination. I'm sure you're aware of that horror movie. Fortunately, that is not how this all ended. Within the hour, though, we also spoke with the company who operates the ride, who called the issue uncommon, said the ride is perfectly safe to use, as you saw in Heidi's live shot before we lost that live shot a few moments ago. It is back up and running. It has been checked out. They say it is completely safe now, and people continue to enjoy it tonight. So the State Fair is one of those stories that combines a bit of good with a bit of the bad. You got the food and the rides, but you also get the high prices and the traffic. There are lots of stories like this in the news, and here at 7 o'clock, we like to take a look at a bunch of them. The kind of stuff that makes you say, all right, and oh no. Let's start with the fair. The fried food, the rides, the giant pumpkins and tractor pulls. Good, clean, family fun for everybody. All right. But the $5 hot dog in 2018 costs $10 now. Lunch passes used to be $10. Now they're $20. And don't even get me started on the turkey legs and $40 parking. The fair is expensive. Oh, no. But if the fair isn't your thing, there's lots of concerts over there, too. Chris Brown, Billie Eilish, some big names. All right. But all those events in the same area means traffic, and lots of it. I mean, look at what happened on I-40 on Tuesday. And Trinity Road is going to see backups for over a week. Oh, no. Raleigh is launching a new program to make e-bikes easier and cheaper to use. A healthy, cleaner way to get to and from work. All right. But local police departments are posting warnings about e-bikes, saying they're getting more 911 calls about them. In one case, a 15-year-old in Apex broke his arm after crashing on an e-bike. Oh, no. Big bad Hurricane Imelda looked to be heading for the North Carolina coast, but at the last minute, it turned around, spinning back out to sea. All right. But the storm did get close enough to create some choppy waters, and 8 more houses at the Outer Banks collapsed into the ocean. Oh, no. All right, last one. It's been a rough 2 weeks for UNC's football program. A divided locker room, players fighting, that Hulu documentary team leaving town. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. But they've got a chance to turn things around against Cal. A win could be just the medicine the team needs. All right. But it's going to be a late night for the Tar Heels. Kickoff is on the West Coast, which means 10:30 p.m. back here at home. Oh, no. Going to be a late night for Tar Heels fans. All right, there's a whole lot more to talk about when it comes to UNC's football program. The GM meeting with a Saudi national, Jordan Hudson, speaking up about Belichick's podcast. We are covering all of it after the break with a trip to Murph's Turf. And stick around for tonight's Friday moment of nostalgia. We're taking you into the WRAL archive back to 1986 for a classic story about the State Fair. Mike?
Hey, Dan, we have a cold front on the way for our weekend. Ahead of it, a warm-up, but also the chance for showers and storms. I'll outline the timing of the arrival of them coming up.
Have you been keeping up with the drama inside UNC's football program? It's been pretty juicy. It has been difficult to follow, though, I will admit. I mean, so much has happened in just the last 2 weeks. The only thing that hasn't happened has been a football game, and that changes tonight when the Tar Heels take on Cal. Ahead of the super late 10:30 kickoff, I got a quick preview from WRAL Sports investigative reporter Brian Murphy and a trip to Murph's Turf. Murph, happy Friday. Let's talk about sports, man, and get started with the most important thing in sports, and that's what is Jordan Hudson up to? She does have a few headlines.
Yeah, Jordan Hudson, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, and also his business partner, making headlines again for interjecting during Belichick's podcast that he ran last year when he was not coaching. Now, I feel a little sympathy for Jordan Hudson in this one because she is his business partner and does assist with his media projects, but she was in there talking about how the graphics didn't look very good and the set didn't look very good, and so you're led to one of two conclusions. Either she thinks she's the smartest person in the room, or she's been empowered by Bill Belichick to run his operations when it comes to these media projects and decided, look, she wasn't wrong. The graphics probably needed an upgrade and the set needed an upgrade too.
Let's talk about Lombardi, another person in Belichick's circle. He made some headlines as well because he's looking for money, which all schools are right now, but he apparently met with the Saudis as an attempt to raise some money.
Yeah, and a lot of this comes from Pablo Torre's podcast, talked about Mike Lombardi and Jordan Hudson being the two people that are really competing to influence Bill Belichick. Well, in this case, Mike Lombardi went to Saudi Arabia on a fundraising trip, an exploratory fundraising trip, try to raise money from a Saudi national who wanted to invest in Bill Belichick. Obviously, raising money from the Saudis is something that a lot of sports organizations are doing these days, but it comes with its own set of complications, given the Saudi Arabia's history of human rights violations and so on and so on. But no money, we're told, from the university exchanged hands. The Saudis are not investing in UNC at this time. But to go to Saudi Arabia 2 weeks before the season, to have your general manager fly all the way over there, I think signals that at least it was serious.
Right. So is the coverage has been serious as well about UNC the past few weeks. How many different headlines have they made from the division in the locker room to the documentary from Hulu being pulled. It's been one thing after the next. And here we are finally back to a football game. They are playing Cal tonight, a Friday night game, and a big one, obviously, for the team.
Yeah, Bill Belichick says this is the place he wants to be. He said, glad I'm here, in disputing some of the buyout talk that came up last week. The other thing he keeps saying is that they're making progress. They're following his process. They're making progress. The problem is we haven't seen that. We haven't seen any progress on the field. This game offers another opportunity. I think the administration's being patient. Fans are being less patient. But at some point, the players, the coaches, everyone needs to see some progress. You can't get blown out again on the road at Cal after what happened against Clemson, what happened against UCF, what happened against TCU. I think it's time for this team to at least show that they're making some moves in the right direction.
And we'll be watching. Thanks, Murph.
Thanks, Dan.
Murph, as well as Ashley, they continue the conversation around UNC, go a little bit more in depth on some of these different issues. On all the stories that WRAL has really been breaking about this program over the past couple of weeks. You can watch their deep dive over on the WRAL YouTube page right now. It's good stuff. Murph really knows what he's talking about. And, you know, so does Ashley.
Yeah.
She's into it, too. She's into it as well. We all kind of are. This has been the saga.
Oh, I know. Every
right
time
here.
you turn around, something new's coming out.
Absolutely right. The other thing that we're loving is this weather, man. It's been great.
70 yesterday, 70 today. Look at the warmth for the weekend. If you're a fan of warmer weather, you got to come. And 79 tomorrow after a cold start of 47. Tomorrow will be the dry day of the weekend. And I think Sunday, for the most part, will as well. Everything that I've looked at today points more toward an evening shower and thunderstorm event coming through. 56 in the morning on Sunday, 79 the high. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy. 20% chance for a shower during the daylight hours. A windy day as well. Southwest wind 10 to 20, maybe gusting to 30. And then we have a 50% chance for showers and some storms. We do have some cloud cover coming in tonight. We can see it off to the west. This is our Fenton cam, and it is looking west. There's some cirrus clouds coming in. 63 right now with the dew point at 42. It'll be mighty chilly on the bleachers this evening and on the midway at the State Fair. 59 in Cary, 57 Holly Springs, 59 in Nightdale, 57 in Wake Forest. On the midway, 60, 62 at 7 o'clock, 56 at 8. By 9 o'clock, 55. By 10 o'clock, 53. If you're heading to the State Fair, make sure you have a jacket, maybe a sweatshirt. It'll keep you warm, and you'll have fun. It looks like a good night for strolling the midway. So big changes coming up for the weekend. We've got the warming. We've got this front approaching. It gets into the area on Sunday night. We see the cloud cover that's starting to stream into the area, preventing us from getting quite so cold tonight. And tomorrow with that front venturing east, it's pulling moisture in from the Gulf. A lot of instability. There's a threat for severe weather. A level 1 and 2 threat. Damaging winds. Tornadoes can't be ruled out. Wind damage. This system will weaken on the approach to our area. So for Sunday, we're in what we call the general thunderstorm category, where you see the light green. You can't rule out a thunderstorm. The likelihood of severe weather would be more to the north. We see the dark green. That's that level 1 threat. And we have a front coming on by with those showers and possible thunderstorms. So let's time them out with Futurecast. We're looking at Sunday morning at 8, waking up to temperatures in the 50s, 57 in Raleigh, 57 in Fayetteville, 58 in South Hill. And it looks like ample sunshine to start the day. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy for the day. Low 70s at lunchtime. If we have enough sunshine and with that strong wind, we could easily hit 79, maybe 80 degrees. The model's falling short and showing that. And then here come the showers. Really nothing going on. 5, 6 o'clock. It's this narrow band of showers and potential thunderstorms. 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock on Sunday. We see it blow on by. And since it's moving so quickly and it's such a narrow band, not going to amount to a whole lot of rain. Maybe 1/4 of an inch at best. 62 by midnight on Monday morning. And then Monday looks like it'll be a pretty cool and bright day. So tonight, not as cold. 40s for lows, 47 at Raleigh, 43 at South Hill, 42 at Rocky Mount, where you had 39 this morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, bright and warmer, upper 70s to maybe 80 for the highs, with some cloud cover in the morning, but that will depart, leaving it full sunshine in the afternoon. Heading to the Georgia Tech Duke game, it'll be nice. If you're heading to the State Fair, it'll be nice. Anything outdoors would be pretty nice. Breezy on Sunday with clouds, showers and storms at the evening hours. Monday is cooler and less humid, 70. A little warmer on Tuesday, 76. But Dan, notice Monday through Friday of next week, it'll be dry for the North Carolina State Fair.
That is great news. All right, thank you, Mike. And there is something about the State Fair. It just makes you feel a little nostalgia. Maybe it's the rides, the food, the overarching theme of agriculture, maybe. WRAL has been telling State Fair stories for years. And after the break, we revisit one from 1986. The State Fair is here again, and already the news has brought you all the stories on the food and the rides and someone getting stuck on a ride tonight, the traffic, all that sort of thing. The North Carolina State Fair, though, has been around over 100 years. And while WRAL hasn't been around quite that long, we have covered that event, that huge event, for decades. So we went into the WRAL archive and we found a classic state fair story from 1986. Thank you for making WRAL your choice for local news. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the fair as we leave you with this Friday moment of nostalgia.
Opening day at the State Fair. October just wouldn't be the same without it.
This is my first time for many years. It's been 30 years.
Take it, please. Yeah, they were out of school today, so I decided to take a day off and come on out.
That's what it says, 90. You got to go that way. That time I got lucky.
For fair lovers, the State Fair this year will last longer than ever. For the first time in its 119-year history, the fair will be here for 10 days. That includes 2 full weekends to sample the food, take in the sights, and watch the kids have the time of their lives.
The biggest turnout ever for a state fair was back in 1984 when 694,000 people showed up. But this year, with good weather and a longer run for the fair, that record could easily be broken.
We built a new grandstand, we have added a number of new exhibits, and we're really trying to appeal to a diverse group of people so that there's something for everyone.
Although the fair brings in more people from the cities and suburbs each year, the fair hasn't strayed away from its beginnings in agriculture. This year, there are more than 15,000 exhibits and more animals than this young lady could possibly count.
We have a forum, so she's seen some. Nothing like these, no. These are unusual.
And these animals are just the beginning.